Right. Now, this part I was a little bit confused about exactly how to go about explaining it. So, this is your next task. And about the only way I could come up with to explain the next task is to do the next task. Because by now most of you have got a topic and you've started doing some research. What that research is and how you do it is completely up to you. And I know that there's lots of different stuff out there. So there's definitely no right or wrong way of doing this. But I thought I'd show you what I've got. Okay? Because then hopefully it'll make a little bit of sense. Right. So I've been reading this book from Gaza. It was one of those ones where when Mr. Hall was retiring, he's like, do you want this book? And I was like, yes, I want this book. And slowly it's become more useful. I've written in it. But what I've come up with over the last couple of days is that I started on with this woman here, who she's Maori, or she's possibly half caste, but I think she's Maori. She's definitely Maori, but she might have a white father. That I haven't been able to get to the back of. Either way, she starts off and she's having an affair with this guy, Von Tempsky. And Von Tempsky is a really famous military commander from the 1800s in New Zealand. He got her as a hand-me-down. I don't know how you get a hand-me-down mistress, to be honest. That irked me just a little bit. Anyway, he did everything he could to keep her out of the Taranaki Wars. So, I mean, if we look at it in a nice way, he loved her and was trying to protect her. But then again, this is where it starts to get irksome, because just a few pages on, we find out about this guy, Cooper. And Cooper, he loses his position as a major because it says here, in 1861, he seduces a 12-year-old Maori girl. Now, my question is this. Can anyone seduce a 12-year-old girl? No. No, you can't. Because the words are all wrong. Seducing involves consent, doesn't it? And I just don't... Damn you, James Belich. You... Anyway, so... I'm just going to play devil's advocate for just a moment. When was this book published? This book was published in 1989. I was 11 when this was published. This is my anger with the words. Would we get away with writing that today? Hopefully not. If this was just a single incident in the book, maybe I'd let it go. But it's not a single incident, not by any stretch of the imagination. Because later on, and I really do mean later on, there's a lot of stuff about men going to war and they're all like, look at me, I'm awesome, I'm going to war. And then, you know, you get these things like Mother Britain basically forsaking baby New Zealand because there's this war going on. So another allusion to women. So far we've got woman, the mistress, the 12-year-old girl that gets seduced. So there's women are just sexual beings. And then you've got this whole mother one of, you know, they're so kindly and loving except when they're not. Anyway, moving along. And so going through some more pages. Then we get this woman. Now, I don't know what to do with her. But to be honest, that's a fabulous dress. So... here we've got she's a Maori woman from Whanganui. I wonder if she's related to Miss Owens. Okay, sidetracked there. But what a fabulous dress. And why? I'd look it up, but I was too busy being angry. And so I just followed my anger, to be honest. And then we get to this bit here, where we're talking about Te Tokawaru's actual female woman partner. What we know about her is her name is, I'm going to get this, I'm just going to murder this, I'm so sorry. Puaroranga, but nothing else is recorded about her. At least we know her name, right? So here's this woman, she's got a name. However, what do we get on the very next page? On the next thing, Te Tokawaru's followers are leaving him in consequence of his intriguing with their women. intriguing with their women. Are we trying to avoid saying that he's trying to have sex with their women? Because here's the next sentence. It was in this village that Tito Kawaru introduced the Mormon custom of polygamy, taking no less than 5 wives from the tribe. 5. He's already got this woman that all we know about is her name, and now he's got 5 more. And he's intriguing women. Intriguing. Anyway, later on, we get this one here that basically Tito Kawaru ends up losing the war. And the reason why he loses the war is that nobody fights alongside him anymore. And nobody fights alongside him anymore because during the war he goes and has sex with this other woman who happens to be married to this other guy. But it's not... The bit that's the issue seems to be the breaking of tapu for battle. But here we go. And it's certain that the evacuation was carried out in an organised fashion with nothing left in the pa but a puppy. I don't know why there's a puppy mentioned. It's not the mere fact of a sexual liaison or even of adultery which caused the people to reject Tito Kawaru. It may well have been the identity of Puarauranga. It's most likely, perhaps, that she was the wife of some important chief. Then it goes on, and the word cuckolding is used. So, still annoyed. I'd like to know more about this woman because now we're referring to her as being a cuckold, as well as the fact that he's having sex with many other people, and it ends it's his downfall. Anyway, still getting angrier. So here we go on, and we've got the government. Here we go. The government has given the Arawa of Number 8 Division custody of some of Tekuti's female followers. One of which was one of Tekuti's own wives. Okay, so now the women are handed over to the British. And here's another sentence that just annoys me so much. It seems probable that the women became involuntary sexual partners. It happened elsewhere in the wars. Involuntary. Why are we using that word? Honestly, there's a word for that. It's called rape. Or possibly trafficking, or... Either way, it does mention this sentence. It amounted to government-authorised slavery. Thanks, the government. Of course, we're not in 1893 yet, so women aren't people. So what should I be complaining about? What we do have is some photographs that include the women's. So we go on, and we got... Oh, I don't even... Anyway, there's a couple of other women who come in and out, and then it starts getting interesting again. So we've got Lucy Takiora, who is the woman from earlier, where she ends up going and joining up with the British, and she gets paid £10 per month, and then she gets rewarded with £400. That's a lot of money. It's just a lot of money, and some land, because she's giving away information about where Tito Kawaru is. But when we get to the we get to the end of this here, and so he's captured because of her, and we get with Takiora as a guide. When 3 of the old people were found, only 2 men, blah, 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 were immediately shot, and only the women taken alive. Grieving for her men, the woman recognised Takiora as her betrayer. When the old woman saw me, she began to cry and beat me. I did not remonstrate, for I knew wrong had been done. So here we've got this woman she's been with the British this whole time. Then she's gone and been a spy in Tito Kawaru's camp for the British. And now she's given him away, and she's feeling guilt, because those are her words. And then in the very next chapter, because of course, why stick with this? Because this is juicy. We move on to Nurse Anne Evans, and Nurse Anne Evans is actually really cool, because she was a nurse with Florence Nightingale, and then she was married to this Dr. Evans, who ended up in Wanganui, and then when he died, basically she moved to Waihi and said, I'm now going to be a storekeeper, midwife, and surgeon. So that's kind of cool. At some point, she gets blindfolded and taken to treat this sick old man in the bush, and it turns out to be Tito Kawaru. And she says at this time the Maori were kindness itself, each day sending a messenger to her family with letters and gifts of pork and poultry. When Tito Kawaru recovered, he thanked her for what she had done and handed her a folded note. It was £100. I don't want it, she said. Take it, said the chief. My life is worth more than that. Tito Kawaru recovered in his home and had a sense of humour. So here's another woman who had this chance to throw him under the bus. But she didn't. I mean, she's a doctor, but, you know, what we know about her is that she was married to this guy, and she's casually practicing medicine. Just casually, and doing quite well at it. Then there's some images that struck me. Here's Tito Kawaru at the end when he's all captured. Yeah, just very Nelson Mandela-esque, for lack of a better description. And then there's the picture that I can never find. I went backwards and forwards, and honestly, I thought I had gone mad because I couldn't find it. This is the one that's got me. There's a cartoon, and all it says is, there's Tito Kawaru. These are the ministers of some bullshit. Can't even remember what, because my brain's gone fried. So these guys here, it's the witches in Macbeth, basically, but these are political figures of the time, old men with dirty beards. We all know how I feel about beards. So all it just says is Hail Tito, King of the Cannibal Islands, hail, all hail. Cannibal Islands, really, that's what we're doing. And then it just says, Tito Kawaru says, ye should be women, yet your beards forbid me to interpret that you are so. So here we are, we're portraying the British ministers as being women with beards. But here's my thing. Maybe they should have been women. Yeah, because women seem to be quite strong in this. And it's the women who took down Tito Kawaru when the entire British Army couldn't. So somehow that's been my enduring image. I mean, it helps that it's Shakespeare. We always knew that's a bit of a weakness for me anyway. So what I ended up with is, here's my notes from my readings. You can tell that I've done them in such a fantastic way. Scribbling them. I don't think any of them are spelled correctly. Now, I have just scanned all this, and I've put it into a folder on the Google Drive so that you can see it if you want to. But it doesn't mean anything to any of you. I just thought I'd put it in there as proof that I'm doing something. Yeah, so essentially what your task is to try and unpack some of your research and come up with some bits or some symbols, or what are the things that are really grabbing you. Like for me, the bits that are grabbing me is the fact that there's this real dichotomy. There's all these women that we know nothing about that are doing things that the men can't do. And the men are still being so men. And I would really like to deal with James Belich in the way that he's just using such misogynistic language, to be completely honest. It could just be that it's 1989, but I don't think it's right that the sentence seduced a 12-year-old is in there at all. Cringe. Particularly, yeah, if I'm 11 at the time. No. No, just no. Would it surprise you to know that as an 11-year-old, my favourite thing in the world was a rainbow skirt and a sweatshirt with a dog on it? You don't go around seducing people in a rainbow skirt with a sweatshirt with a dog on it, because they're children. Anyway, so those are the things that have got me. And the image that's sticking with me is this idea of Macbeth. And we all know what happens to Macbeth. He gets his comeuppance. And the women, you should be women. Yeah, you should be women. That's the bit that's getting to me. Do I have a script yet? No, I don't. But I do have some content. I do have some bits and pieces. I've got some research. I've got some quotes. Some of the quotes that it's kind of strange that at the very start of this whole saga and the start of the whole war, Tito Kawaru declares, "Hearken, hearken all ye people, this is the year of the daughters, this is the year of the lamb." So he's saying it's a year of peace. And ironically, it ends up being the year of peace because once he's dealt to, there's no more war. And it is because of the women. But he's saying it's the year of daughters, that you can have daughters because you're not going to need them to fight, all that kind of stuff. I think. I don't know. So that's what I'm currently calling it, the year of the daughters. But I could change that. And then he goes on to say all sorts of things about the fact that he's not going to die. Yeah. Then he has this beautiful piece where they're singing, and I am a bird, I fly in the sky, I am a spirit, I have escaped to heaven, O birds of the clouds. So I'm tempted to use that, and I'm very tempted to use the witches from Macbeth, and I would like to deal to James Belich for his language, but I don't think I can do all of those, so at some point I'm going to settle on it. So your task, unpacking from all of my rant anger, I'll go back to just holding my wand and leaning on my chair. There's my knees. So the issue is, if you've got a topic and you feel something about it, cool. Unpack it. See if you can summarize it in some way. It can be a really terrible drawing. It can be a heartfelt piece of writing. It can be just the ability to say on Monday, this is what my idea is, in a nutshell. It doesn't need to be fully fledged into a script, but just, this is the bit that's got me going. And that should be enough to go through for today, Friday, even though I'm filming this on Thursday night, because I'm trying to get ahead. Because what I have been doing is getting up early in the morning and filming, and then I was like, why don't I just film at night? And then I realised that the reason I don't film at night is because I get up really early in the morning. This is just dragging my day out a long way. We'll see how we go with it. But at the moment, my head's quite full of anger, so that's handy. Yes. So, see if you can unpack the information that you found, come up with your ideas. If you can stumble across a symbol or something that just grabs you. If nothing grabs you, that's okay. It's not the end of the world. But see if you can come up with some image or something or a quote. Something that you can summarize and say, this is the bit that gets me, this is what I like about my topic. Those of you that I've had those email conversations about your topics, really cool. We've got some really fantastic ideas coming through. It's nice to see the variety. And yes, so level 3s, we're going to start talking about theatre form and stuff like that. Level 2s, you can just write a damn script. You are lucky puppies. And the people from Celtex or Caltex, however they say their name, they're going to give us free use of their script writing software. So that's going to be nice. That's going to be handy. Yeah. Hopefully that made sense. Hopefully that was helpful. That's what we're going to be doing in Monday's lesson, which is going to be a Google Hangout, is talk about what your topic is and what sort of grabbed you about it. You don't have to rant about it for 15 or so minutes. You can just summarise it in about 30 seconds to a minute, or you can rant for 15 minutes. I don't mind which, but it's up to you. All right, my lovelies, I shall see you on Monday. I will most likely post a video on the weekend because I now seem to be in that habit, and I'll probably do something lame and pathetic. I'm looking forward to level 3 because at level 3 I can go kayaking. Oh my god, you have no idea. So excited. I'm going to... If the weather rains and it just gets disgusting and I can't go kayaking when it's level 3, I will realise that I've done something very wrong in a former life and I'm being punished. Because the weather is so good. So good. But that's okay. Because we've got our lives, we've got our health, we've got our freedoms. I have a fridge full of ingredients. Yeah. What is disappointing, though, is that I'm not necessarily going to be able to redo the pink. It might just have to go purple, blue, teal. I don't know. We'll work it out. At some point when I can sit down, I'm going to re-dye my hair again. I'm just trying to work out whether or not I read Where the Wild Things Are before or after. Should one twist one's wand through one's hair? No, one should not, but one just did. Ranting. Okay. Summarise your topic, find the bit that makes you happy or gets you enraged or gives you an idea, and then be prepared to talk about that on Monday. Or if you're one of those people who doesn't want to talk about it on Monday, just be prepared to throw it into the chat on the side so that other people can see what it is that you're looking at. All right, my lovelies, take care. We're going to be back at some point in human contact. It's not going to be in a great rush because it appears that at level 3 you're not going to be back at school, but I will be. Weird. So, love you all. Take care. Keep being kind, and find something that gets you riled up, because that makes really good theatre. Okay, bye.